Right, now it's another match day at the ongoing FIFA World Cup in Qatar, and tournament sensations Japan face Russia 2018 runners-up Croatia in a wide-open tie. While Son Heung-min and Korea Republic have it all to do against a Brazil team that seems set to welcome back Neymar. Well, Arise correspondents Akerejola and Iyomon have now joined us from Qatar for an update. Hello guys, how's it going? Can we first talk about the heartbreak, the breakfast that we were served as an African continent yesterday because of Senegal's loss, and of course the touching tribute that Sadio Mane wrote to his team as he commiserated with the loss?
Very good afternoon to you. I must actually say that I'm not too emotional about that particular loss because you could literally see it a mile away. And maybe we spoke about this yesterday during the Global Sports Report and when we were doing our analysis for the game, that they were decimated, talking about the Teranga Lions. Going into that game against the Three Lions of England, all the Three Lions needed to do was put a pause to the trigger. And certainly the rest will be history. And that's what they did yesterday on the front foot with Jordan Henderson getting the very first goal for them, the oldest man to score for the Three Lions of England. And just moving on from there, it was just one-way traffic ultimately. They had their chances, didn't take the chances. And at the end of the day, a comfortable win for the Three Lions of England.
Aaron, what's important to note is that the English side were the better of the two sides. The Senegalese side going into that game had already lost key men. For instance, the man who is a midfield maestro in Idrissa Gana Gueye was suspended. Kouyaté wasn't in that game. And also Sadio Mane leading on to that game. Any big game for Senegal without those three key players is definitely a suicide mission. And going into that game, they actually forgot to man-mark. Okay, yes, the English side were the better of the two sides, but what stopped you from actually taking on just one player, player for player? They capitulated after 25 minutes, and we saw them just keep on getting worse minute by minute. Sad one for Senegal, sad one for Africa, but still a good one for Africa, the fact that two African teams qualified for the round of 16. Now we're looking on to Morocco. Can Morocco put up a different play against Spain?
All right, Vimbaye and Cynthia, when she said a good one for African football, understanding that at the Russia 2018 World Cup, no team qualified for the round of 16 from Africa. So you look at this, some have said that this is almost the United Nations being represented here in the round of 16, understanding that 5 different confederations made it into the round of 16. Some are falling by the wayside. Talking about the soccer rules, now the Africans, of course, we still have one particular team, Morocco, against Spain. But as we try to build it up for today, we know that the Le Bleu of France put to the sword Poland on the day. Time will not permit us to dwell on that and what Mbappe is doing. But later on today, the Blue Summarize will be hoping giant killers Japan will be hoping to do business against Croatia today, and the Seleção of Brazil, the favorites, against South Korea. Calling for me, how do you think both games will play out?
Aaron, these are two Asian sides. Japan is still waiting for their first ever qualifying position at the World Cup. But they are, like you call them rightly, the giant killers. They defeated 2 big teams, and now they'll be going for Croatia, who were finalists at the last edition of the World Cup. Japan have been surprising. They had Laiko Tanada, they also had Nakatomo, Takefisa Kubo, and all. And these players could actually be instrumental to Croatia, to Japan actually defeating Croatia. But Croatia need to step up their game. Yes, they had the likes of Kramaric, Perisic, and all, but these players need to play a better football because the Japanese come in with a high pressing game. They're falling back about 2 times in this in the group stages, and they actually were able to come back from opening goals conceded. And you also look at South Korea and Brazil. Well, Brazil, like we all know, are the favorites for this tournament, and they have recorded a lot more wins than South Korea in this particular fixture. 6 wins against South Korea, and South Korea have won just once against Brazil. It's a no-brainer. South Korea could actually try their best, but with the hands Brazil posed, the squad depth and everything, I don't know how well the South Koreans could actually do against Brazil. The Kims, Heung-min Song, what can they really do, Aaron?
All right, that's a big question everyone seems to be asking. It's almost a mismatch when you look at the David versus Goliath. But sometimes Goliath, David always had the upper hand. We've seen in this competition, this has been a competition of underdogs. We've seen the underdogs rise to the occasions, although they are beginning to fall like pack of cards by the wayside, and the big boys are getting into the round of the round of 8. Understanding that Argentina have made it into the round of 8. Not forgetting the 3 Lions of England. So we'll be expecting France versus England on Saturday. That's the big one everyone is looking forward to. Tighter credentials for the Blue will be tested, and more importantly, can England make it to another semi-finals? Remember, in 2018 they got to the semi-finals, they got to the finals at the Euro 2020, and they are looking like a team of the tournament when it comes to consistency in 2 going 3 tournaments right now. But as we actually try to wrap it up before going to you guys, AB, so far so good. While we're talking about the credentials of France, talk to us about Kylian Mbappe and the superlative competition he's having right now. He is the youngest player under 24 to have scored 8 World Cup goals.
Well, Kylian Mbappe might just end up as the greatest player to play the World Cup. He's already had 9 goals. Yeah, he's equaled Messi's goal tally. He's doing exceptionally well for any player his age. It's not just now. Mbappe started way before now, from Monaco to PSG. We saw him at the last World Cup. He's done very well for himself. But let's not forget Olivier Giroud. Last night he became Le Blues' highest goal scorer ever.
52.
52. He is actually quite underrated, but he has done his own for the French national team. Well, who is to stop these 2 players? Can Maguire and John Stones actually defend properly against these 2 firing strikers? That'll be left to see on Saturday.
All right, left to see on Saturday. Of course, the 3 Lions of England. Of course, the sad news that actually came in from the 3 Lions of England was the fact that one man talking about Raheem Sterling had to leave the squad before the game against Senegal because his house in Surrey in the United Kingdom was burgled. His wife, his fiancée and his children were visibly shaken. He had to join them because he could not concentrate. He wants to be sure that they are okay before returning back to the fold of the 3 Lions. And everyone seems to be sending messages his way. This is not the first time it's actually happening, and it's becoming a recurring pattern whereby international players playing for their international teams would have their houses or their families shaken by armed robbers. It has happened to Paul Pogba, it has happened to Victor Lindelof, to mention but a few. We're hoping that he's actually okay, but for now he has gone to join his family in the United Kingdom, away from all the drama that is the Qatar 2022 World Cup. It's really, really a sad one coming in, but these are things that these players will have to get accustomed to. They need to start understanding that they're not just the average Joes. They need to get more security. They need to get more defenses to help them so that they can focus on football.
We certainly wish him well.
Actually tighten up, but it's a sad one for Raheem Sterling. Hopefully it doesn't. It's not as bad as expected, so he can return to the World Cup squad.
Well, we certainly wish him well, and we thank you, Arise sports correspondents Aaron Akerejola and AB Iyomon, live from Qatar. Thank you so much for that update.